Are you tired of spreadsheet guesswork? Starting a business can feel overwhelming, especially in the early stages. So what if there's a simpler way to figure out if your idea is viable? That's what we're doing with this custom break-even calculator. Since we started working on it with Windsurf, we've made some incredible progress. Starting with a simple break-even calculation, we've integrated AI into the app so that it can help when you're very early stages and don't know a lot of the information about the market, price that you should sell your product for, or your cost of goods. And we use Windsurf to make the original app more dynamic. But we're not stopping there. We're gonna make sure the app factors back in startup costs, and we're gonna make it easier to use by adding in a custom button to extract the AI suggestion and automatically put that into the input field. And we're gonna dive deeper into the process that I use to work with Windsurf to easily generate this custom app. In this video, we're going to explore those exciting new developments, as well as look at how Windsurf is revolutionizing the way people generate custom software applications. Let's get started. So we have two features we're gonna add. My hunch is that it's gonna work better if we implement these new features one by one. So let's start off with adding in the initial investment and startup cost. We got Windsurf open here. Let's go to write mode and say, please add the following feature, startup cost. This should be the final input after monthly fixed cost. That way if the user needs, we can backdoor in. Startup costs are one-time expense incurred before starting the business, such as the initial inventory, equipment purchases, legal registration fees, and marketing costs for the launch. So we added all that into the prompt. Let's execute and see if we can apply that same process of running the code, copying and pasting errors back into Windsurf, and having Windsurf execute the updates on its own. See what we get. It looks like it's done doing its work. That's made the following changes. So session data, adding startup costs, new step 6, break-even calculations, and it's made updates to the summary page as well. Oh, cool. All right. It says startup costs are amortized over 12 months to show the impact on the monthly break-even point. So instead of being just like one lump sum that you need to make up, maybe you could figure out some type of financing where you have to pay this back over 12 months. Would you like me to make any adjustments to these changes? No. Let's see, 3 files, template 6, app.py, startup costs are right there. And then it added or adjusted this whole block. All right, let's accept all. Now, let's open up a terminal. All right, so we got the terminal open. We have to run this command, python-m run flask. All right, let's do the exact same business. That way we can get a side-by-side comparison and see kind of how it differs. Okay, what are your total startup costs? So this one should be, let's just click it and see. All right, so my initial assessment of this, $52,500 startup cost. The cool thing is that it's factoring in cost per unit, multiplying that by the assumed number of pizzas that you're going to sell. Is 500 pizzas a realistic number? So 500 divided by 30. It's only 16 pizzas per day. I mean, probably sell more than that, and we'll calculate break-even point. So it works. For this business, in order to break even, we have to sell 1,845 pizzas, which is 61.5 pizzas per day. Let's say we're open 13 hours per day, 61 pizzas per day divided by 13 hours in a day. So we're selling an average of 5 pizzas per hour. We're going to break even. It seems realistic. So that first adjustment worked. There are things that we could do to just make it like a little bit more seamless and smooth. So like page 6, maybe add text saying that if you don't know, then the AI can generate an estimate for you. So we'll add that. All right, so let's go back here. Let's run this software again. Go back to our web browser, reboot it, calculate break even, leave blank for AI suggestion based on your business details. This is awesome. That's the second update that we wanted it to make, and it has made it. So let's leave it blank now that we know. Awesome. And in addition to letting the user know that we can leave it blank, The style of the AI suggestion is now in this blue, light blue, similar to the other pages, just like we added on there. Let's see here. So the output, similar, much higher, but let's just say that we're gonna do, forget what we did before, but let's say 100,000. Calculate break-even point. The calculation works the same, and since we have lower monthly fixed costs, we don't have to sell as many units, and we're still in that realistic range, probably of about 5 pieces per hour, which I think we can do. Windsurf is handling these inputs and requests from me as the user very well. I'm impressed, and I wanna work on another feature for this version, which is to have a button that allows us as the user to just extract that suggestion and have that auto-populate. Let's see if we can give Windsurf a new prompt and ask it to make that update across all of the different steps. I've created a very simple prompt that I want Windsurf to interpret. Please add this new feature. Allow users to quickly and seamlessly transfer AI-generated suggestions into the input fields by clicking a button. This button should intelligently extract and validate the relevant data from the suggestion. Make sure it appears only on relevant pages. So an interesting thing about this feature request is that pretty brief. When AI generates a suggestion, it's a lot of information. There's a lot of context and explanation, and it's basically just like a long string. It's not a number. Our calculation needs the input to be a number. So it's going to have to read through that, pull it out, put it in the input field, and make sure that that is a number. And I'm not explaining that really in any detail. I could, but so far Windsurf has done an awesome job, and I want to see how smart it is. So let's run it and see. All right, Windsurf is done. So on step 3, it created this button, a button to use the AI suggestion, which is what we want to do. Then on step 5, it added a similar button and style. I don't know a lot about CSS, so this has something to do with styling, and I'm guessing there's just gonna be a different style that's used for this button. This is a whole new file, suggestions.javascript. Extract, so this is the button that can extract the number and use the suggestion. Sweet. I updated a file called base.html. Step 4, we got the button, and step 6. So it is doing it on the relevant steps. You know, after reviewing these, they seem to make sense, so let's go ahead and accept all. Nice. Let's run this again. Same business. Let's see how it works. All right, moment of truth. We're on step 3. This is the first step where we have the opportunity to generate an AI suggestion. So we'll click next. Okay, right here we have use suggestion. So let's click it and see what happens. Well, first let's read through this. So $10 to $20, awesome. So hopefully it extracts a number that is between $10 and $20, and that doesn't work. All right, so we have the button, but it doesn't appear to be working at all. Something might be happening on the back end, and we're just not getting the input into this field right here. So we'll have to work with Windsurf on maybe being more specific and troubleshooting this. So the button, we should be able to see some outputs in the terminal when we're interacting with it, and that should help with debugging. String escaping, error handling, and template updates. Test if it works. So let's do that. Moment of truth. We don't know if it's gonna work. Let's test. All right, use suggestion. So this is the terminal. It can tell us what's going on. We have a log of what's happening with this web application. So click use suggestion, see what pops up right here. It should extract a number. Oh, bam! We got 10, man. We got a number 10. Holy shit. I didn't even notice at first. Okay, next. All right, therefore the pizza sold at 10. Costs would typically range from suggestion. 10 makes no sense. We cannot have our COGS be the exact same as the price. And the suggestion does not indicate that. What I think is happening is that the extraction function is basically just pulling probably the first thing that looks like a dollar amount and assumes that that is That's the suggestion. All right, let's go with it. For testing purposes, monthly fixed costs. So this is the estimate, 12,460, use AI suggestion. Based on the error that happened previously, I think it is going to pull this, 1,250. I think it's like finding the first dollar amount. 10, oh, yeah, of course, no, 10. That's the first dollar amount. Such a low number for fixed monthly costs that I didn't even see it. But I don't know, it might just have that locked in the back end. All right, so the first dollar amount is 5,000. Is it gonna be 10 or 5,000 as the AI suggestion? The real number that it should be is right here, 124,000 to 187,000. That's expensive, but maybe realistic, I don't know, 5,000. It is the first dollar amount that it sees, which is nice because it's easy for us to explain what the error is. And I think I know what a possible solution could be. So let's update this. We'll just feed in this error that we're experiencing, describe it as best we can, and see what Windsurf can do. So I've written this up as a way to explain to Windsurf what the error is and provide a suggestion on how I think it can handle this error. So what I said is the button works in the sense that it is able to extract information from the AI suggestion, but sometimes it doesn't extract the right number or dollar amount. I think the way we can fix this is by updating the prompt to provide the final suggestion in a clearer way. The AI suggestion is currently an output with a lot of explanation. So we need the output to be more structured. So it's a lot of numbers, and I think the use suggestion functionality is currently unable to reliably identify the correct number. So we need the output to be more structured, possibly have the final suggestion dollar amount at the very end. That way you can update the use suggestion functionality easily located. Does that make sense? If so, please update the code to have all the prompts clearly indicate the structure required for the output and have the use suggestion properly extract the right number according to the new output formatting. So we'll see if this works. So it says, yeah, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense. I'm great at explaining things to computers. So I was working on the JavaScript to make sure it looks for the final suggestion. It's gonna update the prompts so that they have a structured output. This is called prompt engineering. All right, so JavaScript update is gonna look for something that's formatted like this. So system prompt update, it's gonna specify it in the same format. It's updated the prompts in steps 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's accept. Let's go here, reboot, going back here, reloading, and doing the same business again. College students, we don't know. Let's do the suggestion. Boom, make that big again. So okay, we got the final suggestion at the very end. $12, use suggestion. Boom, 12, baby. We don't know. Final suggestion, $6.17. Again, we're using the right information. Monthly fixed costs, let's generate an AI suggestion. Shit. I don't know if there's some hidden stuff here, but I don't see, okay, the final suggestion is a range. I'm curious if it is going to be able to use this. I'm guessing if it does, it's gonna be 10,850. It works. It's gonna assume the lowest end of the range. We're gonna generate the suggestion for startup costs, test this final step, and then we'll see the result. Okay, we got the final suggestion, $70,401 use suggestion. That's money, baby. That's real money. That's $70,401. Calculate the break-even point. Bam! We're gonna have to sell 2,867 units. Dang, that's a lot. Monthly fixed costs, one-time startup costs, amortized. So this works. Windsurf is kicking butt, baby. I'm a big fan of Windsurf so far. We created the break-even calculator with a simple prompt. The first version was so simple, it didn't tell us a whole lot of useful information. It actually required us to have all of the information. And the result is just a simple calculation that we could do with a spreadsheet, if you even needed that. And we've since created 2 more versions. Second version allowed for more user inputs. Third version, we added in an additional initial startup cost. And in this update, we've also added the functionality so that we can extract the AI suggestion with the click of a button. And we did this just by feeding back the errors that we were getting back into Windsurf, and it is executing all of the updates on its own. So that's awesome. I'm real excited by this. This is still a fairly basic break-even calculator, but honestly, it's a heck of a lot more useful than what we had to start out with. So if you want to see this project continue to develop, hit the like and subscribe button, I guess, if you want to. If there are specific things that you think we could do to improve it, mention those in the comments. And if this is something that you would find useful, just shoot me a message. Let me know, and I'll figure out a way to get this online. I want this to be helpful for people. So sweet. I guess that's it for now. To be continued. I'm going to look at some break-even stuff for businesses that I think might be fun. See you on the next one.